Peace, queens. Peace. It's Molesey of the Queen Code. Peace, everybody. So I've been getting a lot of questions in my DMs and on the page about my process called the Royal Path Map. And so I figured it would be a great opportunity to come on live and to answer all of these questions at one time. And it's actually just one question in particular, and it is, what is the Royal Path Map? And so, hey everybody, hey. So I wanted to come on live and answer that question. And I also thought it would be a great time for those of you that have just joined the Queen Code and who may not have heard my story before, my purpose story of how the Queen Code actually came to be. It would be a great time to share that story again as well. So for those of you that are just coming in, again, we're talking about the Royal Path Map. And the Royal Path Map is a system that I created and developed from struggling for many years to find my own purpose. I created this system that helped me to discover my divine purpose. And so once I created this system, I realized that I had something that could help other people find their purpose as well. And so the Royal Path Map is this amazing, very in-depth system that I've created that helps you to unlock your true identity and discover your divine purpose. And so my purpose story, good morning. My purpose story started for me in 2009 when I was 26 years old. I was going through a quarter life crisis. I was at a point in my life where I had built this life that looked really great on the outside, looked really impressive on paper, but I was really struggling internally because I knew I was supposed to do something more with my life. And I did all the things. I had checked all the boxes, got good grades in school, went to college, did this, did that. And even though I have always had a very strong sense of purpose, even as a child, I still felt like I wasn't quite doing the thing. And so I was 26 years old, 2009, and I reached this stage of burnout. And I'm like, I just want to know why I'm here. I was doing so many different things. I was doing all of these like multi-level marketing companies, and I was writing, you know, 3 books at one time, just really spreading myself very thin. And I reached a point of burnout, and I knew that I had to make a choice. Either I was going to pursue purpose and um, get really serious about it, or I would continue to live my life feeling very unfulfilled. And I was actually depressed. And so I wanted to know, why am I here? And so that was my question. Who am I? And why am I here? And the first thing that I felt intuitively that I needed to do was to prune my life out. Everything that wasn't working, I let go of it. Some of those things were very hard because I had to come to the realization that I was trying to find myself in external things. So a lot of the things that I ended up having to cut off were things that I had attached my worth to. And so it was very hard for me to let go of those things. But again, I was really just sad all the time, smiling on the outside, but dying on the inside. And I was sick of feeling that way. And I've always felt like I was supposed to do something major in the world, something big, something huge. And I wanted to find that thing. So as hard as it was, I actually began to let go of the things that didn't serve me. The things that I loved to do, the things that I enjoyed doing, I did more of those things. And so after a while, I created this space in my life where I had the time to really focus in on what I felt like I was supposed to be doing. And that's how my purpose journey started. It started with me clearing space in my life. It started with me becoming very discontent with where I was. It started with me really finding my own way and going within and asking the divine, who am I and what am I here to do? And so when I went through that process, I took notes. I wrote everything down, everything that I did to find my purpose. I started to chart my path. And what I realized after about a year is that what I had written down was actually a system. And that system was something that I knew I could use to inspire other people as well. And I called it the Royal Path Map. Royal because I feel like we are royal. You know, again, even as a child, I've always felt like I had this thing on the inside of me telling me that I am divine. I believe that we are royal. I believe that we are divine. And so this system that I created led me to that place of knowing that for myself internally and externally. So I called it royal, and then I called it path because I realized that purpose is not a destination to actually get to, it's a path that you walk. It is a journey that you take. And I look at the journey almost like an upward spiral. It's very much like a double helix DNA strand, that upward spiral, that upward ladder. And so I realized it is a path. And for me, the path has led me to refining my purpose, but at the same time becoming more expansive. So it's like on this royal path, you become more of who you are. And at the same time, as you're starting to become more of yourself in a refined way, you begin to experience that all things are possible. So you become more refined and yet limitless at the same time. And then I called it a map because when I look back at all of my notes and everything that I did to come into alignment with my purpose, I realized it was a blueprint, that it wasn't some whimsical journey. It can be very unpredictable at times, but I realized it was a blueprint, something that was a framework. And so I called it the Royal Path Map. And so, again, about a year or so from working with the process myself, I had already started the Queen Code, and I realized that I could help my clients with the system as well, and I did. So to date, I have done over 1,000 Royal Path maps for queens in about 50 different countries. As a matter of fact, I did one today for a queen in Australia. Hopefully she's watching. We had a great time. So that's the Royal Path map. That's a little bit about my story. And typically when queens come to me with the Royal Path map, they're at a point of transition in their lives where they've had an identity shift. Something has happened. Maybe a death has occurred, or maybe it was a divorce, or some kind of shift has happened in her life. And she knows that she's not the old person and she can't go back to being who she used to be. But at the same time, maybe she's a little unsure about who she's becoming. And that's usually the time when a queen will reach out to me and engage in this Royal Path Map process. And so, again, just to share a little bit more, we do talk about purpose in the Royal Path Map. So we start off with purpose, and then I share about some of the blockers to purpose. And this part is really important because one thing I've noticed is that most queens kind of have a sense of who they are, but it's the blockers that stop the process. And so usually when you ask a person, what's your purpose? They'll say, well, I want to help people, you know. And while some of that is true, what I've realized in walking the path to purpose now consciously for 15 years is that while helping people may be a part of your purpose, the core purpose for us all is self-mastery. The core purpose for each of us is taking the very best care of ourselves, looking at our, engaging in our gifts, engaging in and clearing out those blockers, who we become and what we express as we're on this path of self-mastery. That is our gift to the world. And so when a queen comes to me, she's like, I know I'm meant to help people, but I still don't quite understand my calling. And that's where we begin to work. And so one of the major blockers I see is that oftentimes we're helping people on the outside, but not putting ourselves into the equation. Helping so many people on the outside, but still not giving ourselves what we need. And so that's not, of course, purpose. That's something different. And so it really is about coming back into alignment, understanding that you matter, and leading with purpose first. I've made so many changes in my life because I lead with divine purpose. And not just the purpose of being a mom, not just the purpose of being a CEO or an entrepreneur, but divine purpose, my soul's mission. And so when I align with that, everything else has to come behind that. So again, my divine purpose after years of being on this path, I recognize that it is to help humanity reconnect and remember who we are at a divine level. And so that purpose you see in everything I do, even with the Queen Code, even with my tag for my business, awaken the Queen within, remember who you are. That purpose is about, that's what I do, everything I do. And so if you are ready to discover your divine purpose, if you are that woman who's in transition and you know that you cannot be the old person, but you don't quite know who the new person is either, then reach out to me. Send me a DM, just type ready, and I'll send you more information about the Royal Path Map and even some success stories and testimonials of women who have gone through this process with me. And, you know, the Queen Code, of course, is a platform that helps women. And I just feel like it's our time. I feel like that, you know, women being in purpose is a part of the next wave of the next evolution on this planet, because we have so many gifts that we have yet to use and yet to bring into the world. And so it starts with us, though. It starts with our commitment to ourselves and putting ourselves back into the equation. And what better start than to understand your purpose and to lead with that. So again, thank you all for watching. I hope I got straight to the point to whoever said that. But thank you all for watching. And for sure, I'm going to be doing more lives and things like that. But I do a lot of maps and a lot of coaching behind the scenes. So you don't always see me. But the Queen Code as a company is 14 years old. And I'm very dedicated to my work and what I do. And most importantly, to living what I'm sharing with you all, because that's how it's so easy for me to just pour into others and do what I do. I am living proof of the work that I share. So, all right. So like I said, send me a DM. I see some of you saying, yes, I'm sending. Okay. Thank you, Stacy. So yeah, send me a DM. Just, you know, say ready, and then I'll send you more information about the Royal Path Map. All right. I'll see you guys soon.